Oh yes, we did the show so fast I forgot to hook up my music. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. I'm one of your hosts, always Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, accompanied by the social influencer and DJ himself, Mr. Joey Franchise. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? We
We're
here.
repping the whole New York system, the whole subway series on your hat right there.
Yeah, whole Subway series. Got my little special guest with
Yeah,
me
what's
too.
up?
She
Hi.
won't go to bed, so she's
No.
on the podcast today.
No, I lock the door so my grandson doesn't come in because he'll come in and he have a whole different conversation. Yeah, but hi, how you
Say hi.
doing? Say
Hi.
hi. Stay on the camera so we get more people watching us while I hook up
Right?
the audio.
Let's go. Sophie, time to
Yeah,
shine.
Sophie, time to shine.
Let's go. Sophie shining. Sophie shining. He's trying to touch every key on the laptop.
Awesome, I love it.
Yep, and controllers. Look at that.
Yeah.
With the original PlayStation, PS1 buds.
Hey. You got to get her on that Super Mario Brothers right away.
Oh yeah, no. We play everything, trust me.
All right.
I got the Switch, it comes with all the OG games.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, look at her.
buddy.
She's breaking out the Super Nintendo controller. She knows what time
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Speaking
There
about
you
that,
go.
yeah, I got that screener.
Which one?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, we need that. We need that. We need to have your
There's
boy
no
pull up and
plus
say,
one.
what?
Yeah,
That's trash.
they restricted local media to only one guest.
Wow, that's
So
trash.
I'm sorry guys,
Oh well.
no plus one. I'm gonna go check it out. I think it's Monday the 3rd. And
Nice.
I haven't been getting. You know what I haven't been getting though?
What?
The Warner Brothers screeners.
Why do you think that is?
Probably Tarek's fault because he trashed he trashed
Wow.
the Fantastic Beasts. I'm just kidding, but not too
I got a
much.
Shazam one. I had the Shazam screening.
I didn't get that. So you had the game, bro.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're gonna talk about. Because what we got on the agenda today is we're talking Shazam, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't watched
Yeah.
Shazam, Joey Franchise is probably gonna spoil it. Don't get upset. I've heard all the spoilers already, so you're not gonna ruin anything for me.
Yeah.
I chose not to watch it this weekend. One, because I had more important things to do,
I feel that.
and two, I don't know. It just wasn't like it was cool, but it wasn't like from the trailer. It just wasn't. It wasn't like dang, like I really need to see this. You know what I mean?
I agree, and I think because of what we already know what's happening with DC, it just kind of. I feel like that announcement probably should have came right before the Flash movie,
Yeah.
just to indicate. Because I think the fact that with that announcement being made, it just made DC EU movies like this one just not important to watch. Because it's like, okay, well, it's all going to get rebooted anyways, and I
Right.
mean, who cares if they even, you know, hint at up at stuff, you know, in the movie because they're not going to pay anything off. Like,
I had that boom bap loud.
what's the point?
Yeah. I think sorry about that music mishap there, guys. I wasn't like when I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer. Cool. He's fighting the dragon. Yada yada yada. I even saw the tease of Wonder Woman. And I just was like, I'm gonna see it eventually. But I guess everybody else did that too because it's not making too much bank at the box office. It's actually underperforming with I think the last reported was 30 mil at for this weekend.
Damn,
Yeah. And
damn.
there's a bunch of breakdowns who break it down like it's not even like made like 60% of what like something like Black Adam made, which was
Yeah,
also didn't do as well as they hoped. Um, what what? First off, you've seen the movie. Before we get into the results of the box office, okay? Let everybody know your review of the movie. We already
Okay.
gave the spoiler warning, so if you feel like you need to spoil something, feel free to. But if you want to keep it spoiler free, that's up to you. And that's your fair warning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Joey, let us know what you feel about the Shazam movie as a DC fan.
Well, I have dropped a non-spoiler review on my
Okay.
franchise on film IG. So definitely, if you don't want to be spoiled, you can go there now and come right back. So, but yeah, oh thank you. Yeah, my daughter, she's amazing. She's definitely yeah, got us cute points for the night on the pod. Um, I reviewed it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Surprisingly, because you already know I don't like Zachary Levi at all.
You're not
Not as
feeling him at all, like like a person, like you don't feeling his posts or
no,
whatever,
no, no.
or what does that stem from?
I got to retract that.
I mean, if you don't like him as
Well,
an
you
actor,
know
it's
what?
different.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him as an actor, but I definitely didn't like him as Shazam, and I didn't like it because I made this very known on
Mm-hmm.
previous pod
Mm-hmm.
where I just don't really like the vibe he's giving off, and I feel like it's super cheesy, super corny, and what bothered me most about this film is Asher Angel, who plays Billy
Mm-hmm.
Batson, the younger version. Um, he is turning 18 in the movie, and he's acting more mature than Zachary Levi's Shazam. Like Shazam is wildly immature. Like they don't match up. Like this is the same kid, just in a different, you know,
See,
just the adult version
I'm
of
not
him.
feeling that already. So I feel like if I sit down and watch it, I'm gonna be like, you know,
It's wildly like immature. Like
yeah,
some of the jokes don't even land.
wow,
Um, I mean, there's really nothing too much to spoil about the movie. It's really just the god Atlas,
mm-hmm.
his daughters, three of them, are
Yeah,
coming to obtain the power, which Shazam is an
right,
acronym for all the gods,
right,
and Atlas is one of them. And the daughters are trying to retrieve the power, take it back from Shazam and the Shazamly, and that's really what happens throughout the entire film. Is just them doing it. They bring back the staff
mm-hmm.
that he broke in the first movie. So they went back to retract and say, how these women are like, why are they here? Because they did a terrible job of explaining why they're there. The movie opens up with just the two out of the three sisters just pulling up in a Greek museum, and then they see the staff that's broken in half. They put it back together, and then they just kind of come through and fuck shit up in the whole museum.
All
And
right,
that's where the movie starts. It's like, where the hell did these women come from? Like,
wow, no backstory,
no
or
backstory. You don't get it till the middle of the movie,
wow,
and they go back to that scene where he broke the staff in the first movie, and it becomes they make it like a joke out of it, and he's like, oh,
right,
kind of like oh shit, I definitely broke it in half and left it on the ground.
wow,
Um,
okay,
so yeah, it was just terrible how they introduced the daughters of Atlas. I did, however, like Freddie Freeman
yeah,
in this one, out of shine in this movie. Actually, he got a lot of like screen time, and I feel like he kind of in a way stole the show throughout the movie. Digimon Hansu's wizard got a bigger role as well in the film. Um, yeah, the third sister, I think Athena, she was okay. I haven't really seen that actress in many movies, but she was okay in this one. I feel like everybody around the movie, not Zachary Levi, actually
mm.
made it somewhat enjoyable for me. But the thing is, I was ready to trash the movie, but then I
Dang. So
realized
it was on 0 or 1.
it was four, dog. It was
No,
on four.
I'm talking about on a 5 scale. Was it
Oh, on
on
a
0 or 1?
scale, it was on a one.
Dang, not even mid.
Because I was not entertained within the first like 30 minutes. I was just like
Wow.
kind of sitting around. But then I had to like kind of flip a switch because in the theater at the advanced screening, I happened to be next to like families and there was some kids in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're laughing at all these jokes that to me aren't really landing.
Hmm.
So I had to kind of put it in retrospect, like, yo, this is really just a kids movie.
Right.
And let me watch the movie as a kid would. I'm a
Right.
big ass kid anyway, so it don't even matter. So like, let me go back to like, like receiving this as if I was a child, like a teenager again. It's a definitely a teenager type of movie. Um, I would say that the visual effects were really good. They did a really good effects. The monsters, just like the last one, like really on point. So I thought that's what really, held me down in the theater. I thought the final battle scene, which was actually a pretty long battle scene, was pretty solid. Um, and it's cool because you got to see more of Shazam, or a lot of.
Yeah.
I feel like in the first movie, at least the way I was seeing it, it was just like he was just trying to understand his powers and was kind of going back and forth from being a kid to being grown up Shazam. And then you get that final battle scene. But this one, I feel like you get him. You get a good chunk of Shazam fighting
Hmm.
in the final battle scene. So you know it is what it is. There's also two post credit scenes that really don't lead to anything, and I'll probably spoil that because that was probably the more
Yeah.
juicier part of the movie.
Yeah, and it's actually been spoiled for me already, so you're not so that's your another spoiler warning for everybody.
So
Okay?
yeah,
So
Johnny Economos and the girl, I forget her name, from Peacemaker, they come through, and for some reason Shazam's in like the woods, like electrocuting shit, like trees and cans and
I,
like just doing weird shit in the woods. And they come around recruiting him to join the Justice Society. He thinks it's the Justice League, but it is the
right.
Justice Society. So they make a whole joke. They make like a Marvel joke or an Avenger joke.
No.
It really didn't go anywhere, and it's not going to go anywhere. See, the Black Adam movie scrapped, so that Justice Society shit that we saw in there ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Well, who knows? Who
So
knows what they're gonna do? Who knows?
it was pretty much a pointless kind. It was a pointless situation, a pointless post credit scene. The second one was another pointless one. It was Dr. Savannah in the jail, and it's been 2 years since Mr. Mind had like left him, and
Hmm.
they had that conversation about conquering the realms and things like that.
Right.
So hold on a second, I got the child going nuts right now.
It's okay. um, and then there was the other one, the famed Wonder Woman cameo, which was already spoiled by DC themselves. They had it in the
They
trailer.
had to. They had
Yeah.
yo. They probably wasn't. They wasn't moving tickets.
Yeah.
They weren't. They probably were shitting the bed on the pre-sale. Like there was really no hype for this movie. And the first one, crazy enough, like was like the better movie compared to all the other DCEU stuff that was going on at the time. So that's why
Right.
they greenlit the second one because they got a
Hmm.
good first one got a good solid response.
Right.
But this one didn't fall over too well. It's like there's not many people who are fans of this character, and I think a lot of it has to do with Zachary Levi portraying the character because I hope I'm not the only one seeing this, and I don't want to sound like a hater either. So I mean, it's just
Just say
he
how you
just
feel, baby. That's what the
he
podcast is for, baby.
he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
portrays Shazam like really like corny, bro. Like
Wow.
he's a very corny, like he makes a character look corny. And I
Wow.
don't know if this is how it was written or if that's how that's his approach
Well,
on the character.
you
It's
know,
just it was
he
it
better get
didn't
it
it
right
didn't
if he
hit.
really wants to own that character because that character gets serious. When we're getting into
No,
like more
he
Kingdom Come and when Baxton gets older, I mean,
yeah.
he becomes a serious character.
Yo, keep it G. They should listen for this new DCU. They should really fall back on doing anything Shazam related. Fall
Mm.
back. That shit's a wrap. That shit ain't going over nothing. And that's a really hard character to work with because you think about it. Billy Batson or Asher Angel, he's growing up, and you could tell the kid's grown up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're supposed to be portraying a kid turning into a man when you're damn near a man yourself.
All right.
Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
think the
Like
next time we
how?
see, honestly, I think the next time we see anything Shazam is gonna be in like something like that, like a Kingdom Come kind of portrayal, like an older Billy Baxton, you know, or taken over by some bad guy, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. I'm eventually gonna see it. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in the movie theater. Um, there's a bunch of other movies that I want to see before I see Shazam. So That's where I stand on that, man. That's a dang shame. You think that like why do you think DC really shit the bed on in their um, PR department? Because I mean, we're talking about a movie that was well received, Shazam, right? All common sense dictates that a sequel should at least bring some kind of interest, right? People liked the first Shazam. It made a decent amount of money. It was profitable. Um, you know,
I think they fucked up not doing the Black Adam story. That's probably what they fucked up. Like
yeah.
these, like respect to Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, who were,
Mm-hmm.
they were okay in the movie. I had no issues with them at all.
Right.
Um, but you really had your shot. Like you really had your shot at telling us to rock on board. You
Yep.
already, Black Adam was already coming out before the movie. Why wouldn't you write the movie to coincide with that? You know what I'm saying? Like The Rock is one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. Granted, regardless of what Black Adam was like doing box office wise, because I mean they didn't know how. Like they already had the schedule.
Yep.
Like you already knew what was going to happen before it even happened. So it's like, and maybe that would have helped kind of redeem Black Adam in a sense because that's what everybody really wants to see
Mm.
because that's Shazam's biggest villain. Like
Well,
his, you know what I'm saying?
mm.
Everybody wants to
Yeah,
see
I
them go
mean
toe to toe.
that's his Joker. That's the main villain. I mean, it is what it is. That's his
And
main antagonist is Black Adam. Period.
and it's crazy because it's like I don't, as much as I would want to see a Shazam Black Adam, I wouldn't want it to be Rock versus Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not buying that fight.
Yeah. That's a tough.
I'm not paying money for like a pay that you know what I mean? Like that was a pay per view fight. I'm not
That's a
paying for
tough
that.
sell. That's a tough sell.
You can't sell me that.
But maybe like a team up, like Superman is needs some help because he cannot defeat this magic person. You know. Oh, man, maybe that kid that I visited in the cafeteria the other day. Oh yeah, he's got the same logo. He might have some of the same powers. Maybe I should ask him to help me out with this. You know what I mean?
But even
But
then, like I've
yeah.
seen it. I mean, we've seen it happen in the comics. We've seen it
Mm-hmm.
happen in the cartoon
And
movies.
animated is
Yeah,
very similar.
and
Has a
it
similar
works. But
story that
it's
goes
like
on.
I couldn't see the way they wrote Zachary Levi
Yeah.
or wrote Shazam and Zachary Levi's portrayal of him. I don't know how that fits into like some serious shit because literally throughout not only like both of these movies, it's just really like cheesy.
Yeah.
He's really acts like a kid and the kid acts like an adult. It's really weird.
Wow.
The dynamic is wild.
That is wild. That's a little off putting. But definitely on the box office response, I think it's just a um you know the James Gunn announcements, the Black Adam debacle, however how you feel about that, good or bad. Um, Zachary Levi making crazy statements on Twitter, and kind of dividing fan base and stuff like that. Fan base already divided because of the Snyder Cut stuff. I think it's just a perfect storm, and this is the end result. You know what I mean? It was a perfect storm. The economy to pile that up on the pile of shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a perfect storm, and this is the result. You know what I mean? I mean, they didn't rally their fan base around this at all. You know
No,
what I mean? So I hope Warner Brothers is just taking notes. I really hope they're just taking notes. They're like, dang, you know what? We kind of we messed this up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We really Black Adam, okay, fine, whatever. I'm sure it'll be profitable by the end, by the time everything's said and done. You know what I mean? But Shazam 2, I mean everything. You know, first movie was great. Second, sequel should at least bring some attention. It's not a total horrible movie. You know, it should have done okay. You know what I mean? And it didn't even hit okay levels. So Dang shame. Let's see what happens with Warner Brothers Discovery and what they're gonna do with things going forward. But
Yeah, they
on
need
the
to reboot
other
this thing
side of the
fast.
coin, Zack Snyder isn't making thing, or maybe he's got the green light from Warner Brothers. But help me make some sense out of this because I've been watching other YouTubers. They're all talking about this. He's got this voice here. Look at this.
Yeah, so this.
Yeah, dropping the actual voice actor of Darkseid for the voiceover. Posted it on his Twitter, and that's the Snyder. Snyder has like a little con that he puts together.
The Snyder
Yeah, the
Con, where
Snyder con.
they
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
watch the movies over.
Right. So that's a Snyder con, but still, man, like like he's not helping. He's not helping Warner Brothers out at all by doing that. I think he actually is firing up the the Snyderverse to Netflix camp, on Twitter and all the social media that's behind all that. But I mean, where's that coming from, Joey? What are we dealing with here?
Man, DC is just a mess, bro. Like when you think there's about to be some structure and you have like you feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Here, the Snyder sweaties coming through, hyping
And
him up.
yo, and I wish we were in a different universe where Zack Snyder could finish his vision of the Justice League and whatever he wanted to do with the DCEU, and we're done with that, and we're able to move on. But it didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. It didn't happen. Help me make sense of this, Joey.
What I think is I think Zack Snyder is really trying to show other like movie
Yeah.
studios like he's got the juice. You know what I'm
Apparently he's
saying?
got a 10-year deal now with Netflix. Reportedly,
Yeah, I heard that.
just signed. Reportedly, a new 10-year deal with Netflix. So this Rebel Moon must slap.
Yeah, yeah,
It must slap. I'm kind of excited for it. Man, we're gonna get this Rebel Moon till December. Dang.
yeah. Listen, he's really showing his ass
Hmm.
right now and the juice, and he's really got a cult following that he really supports what he does and are actually
Hmm.
fans of his Snyderverse
Right.
of DC films, and
Let's see. He didn't post
this
the.
is it's actually really cool what he does though. I'm not gonna cap. Like I hope is the fact that he shares like storyboards, concept art.
Hmm.
He shared what his vision was for those unexplained like nightmare scenes and future Justice League movies,
Right.
and it was intense, and it was like really some next level shit that we haven't seen before, that we probably will get like something similar to that with all the multiverse shit going on in Marvel. But
Right.
I think Zack Snyder had a pretty solid vision, but just his movies were his original movies were way too long. He was telling a lot of story, and studios are trying to make money, and they movies ended up being cut poorly, and which is led to like a lot of the debacle of what was of the Justice League and all the DC movies all put together. It's really hard. It was really hard for him, I feel like, to really get the studios to believe that a 4 hour film was right move. Or like Superman versus Batman versus Superman should have been an extra 30 minutes longer. Like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because like those extended versions of those movies, respectfully, like actually made the movies more understandable, like like you can comprehend them a lot better because the story actually kind of like flowed. The other ones was just like, oh, they just were cutting shit out, and there was like weird ass plot holes that you didn't get answered until the extended cut came out, which was really weird.
Yeah, it was a different take on doing those kinds of things, and I hope that the Snyder Con goes well, and I think he's going to show the extended Justice League, the 4 hour version. I think he's going to show it in an IMAX theater. So that's going
That's
to be
cool.
dope, man. I wish I could go to that, or I think that's happening in California or something. I'm not sure exactly. I was trying to find the flyer that had the what he was showing and stuff like that. He was showing Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, the director's cut, not in regular in another theater, and then in the IMAX series, he's gonna show the Zack Snyder's Justice League. So yeah,
Yeah.
but and let's see, or maybe what if he drops some tidbit, something new, something behind the scenes is happening with DC and him. Who knows, huh? Or if he drops it in his own little SnyderCon.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I
The
don't.
the sell Justice League to Netflix people will take over the internet for a day if he does that. It will just be like, let me just close Twitter right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that.
I mean, we'll see what happens because who knows? Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come back for a Batman movie. Brave and Bold. They're looking for a director. Ben Affleck already made it clear that he's not interested in doing anything Batman
That
or
would be
anything
interesting.
superhero related.
That would be interesting. I mean, just James gonna be like, yeah, well, so we're not going a different direction, changing, Superman, but we'll have Zack Snyder direct the next Batman movie, Brave and the Bold, with a new Batman. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Zack will go for that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Let's talk about your other favorite topic, or your unfavorite topic, should I say? Star
My
Wars.
unfavorite. So, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you? Oh, what? Have you even been watching The Mandalorian? What have you been doing, man?
bro, I'm tapped out. That
Yeah,
I didn't. I
tapped
didn't
out.
like. I didn't like the. I didn't like the season premiere. Very,
Episode two
very,
is a very very good episode.
really,
Yeah,
because I
it's a
heard
very very
otherwise.
good. It's
That's what
very
made me
very good.
not watch it.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
Episode three is a different take. It's an acquired taste. Episode three, because episode three deviates to the doctor, the cloning doctor,
Oh, okay.
and a little bit to his not backstory or what he's going on right now. What he has going on right now. He's in Coruscant and stuff like that. So that's without me ruin it for you and everybody else who hasn't watched it.
No, go
So
ahead. You ruin it.
but I think your take is interesting because that also goes to my next topic about the Mandalorian is everyone and their mother, all the YouTube channels, everyone's reporting that Mandalorian ratings have gone down for this latest season. Um, so I mean, you've already made your feelings know how you feel is all mid to you right now.
Very mid.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just recycling. They're just giving us the same formula. Like it's just there's nothing special to it. I don't know where this the character is like what's the end goal? Like what's
Hmm.
the bigger purpose? It just feels like all these how you do all these how you finish a
Hmm.
game,
Hmm.
like say Grand Theft Auto,
Right.
or say like the new Hogwarts game, and then you're like, okay, I'm done with the game. I guess I'll just run through these side missions. So
There are a bunch of
Man,
side missions. They are. And
Mandalorian
then
just
and then
feels like
episode three like literally takes you to like another side mission of your supporting cast. Not even your
bruh.
supporting cast. Your old supporting cast you haven't seen yet in a while.
Mandalorian is one big side mission,
Yeah.
and it's like, where are we going with
Episode
this?
two is lit though. Episode two is lit. If anything, at least you got. And episode three, I did enjoy episode three for what it was. I don't know. Maybe artistically, maybe that's not the choice that I would have done, but it was. I think it was okay. It was actually very intriguing to see more. I like how the New Republic life is in Coruscant now. You know, that was very
Yeah,
intriguing about that episode too. And there's a lot of and a lot what they're doing with former Empire people who have served the Empire and trying to get them rehabilitated into the New Republic. You know, so it was
mm,
interesting. It's an interesting episode for that. A little bit of Andorish. You know what I mean? A little bit
okay.
of it is a little bit of Andorish, a little bit of Andorish intrigue, political Star Wars intrigue, which I'm sure you're not interested in, but you're gonna
Oh
get it
no, I'm
anyway if
definitely
you
not
watch it.
interested in it.
Me, I don't know. I'm a big nerd for that stuff, so I enjoyed it. But I could see why other people would not enjoy it, and I don't know if I would present it in that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Personally, but it is what it is, man. Mandalorian. I don't know. I guess we just need some more episodes to make a final decision on like how we feel about it. I guess, but I'm not disliking it at all right now. So I haven't had an episode yet that I say, what the heck did we watch? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
all right. But let's talk about something that's killing it, and that's actually unfortunately over already, right? I think they had the season finale already, The Last of Us.
Yep. Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very wild season finale. Bro, yeah, it was really intense. You know, Joel, kind of flipping the way he did. I don't really want to spoil too much. I think that if you haven't seen the series, now's the time, especially with all the episodes being out.
Oh
Do
yeah,
so.
I think
You
I'm
will
gonna
not
binge it now. Yeah.
regret it. Yeah, I don't even want to spoil it because that last episode is intense. Like before that was wild. So it's
Wow.
like now it's getting even crazier, and you're starting to see the change in Pedro Pascal's Joel character. Like you see him shift now, and like you see how much he's changed from the beginning of the
Hmm.
series to now. But yeah, amazing show. Definitely gonna win a bunch of Emmys. I feel like,
Okay.
and I can't wait for season 2. So
All right. Dope, man. I'm gonna binge it. We're gonna binge it. Me and my wife are
you
gonna
should
binge it.
binge it.
Honey, we're gonna watch
Definitely,
it eventually. Okay.
y'all
So get
y'all will
ready.
definitely enjoy it. That's why I wasn't trying to say too much because, bro, like
Okay.
every episode's very good,
Okay.
like
All right.
top notch. Like it's the best, it's the best way they could have adapted like live action, like did a live action adaptation to an amazing game as well. So it's good.
Okay.
Some wild news today though.
Yeah. What you got for me?
Sidebar.
We're gonna end up the show.
Um, Victoria Alonso,
Mm-hmm.
big exec over at Marvel, huge. This girl's been around from the beginning, like Iron Man,
Oh yeah,
Avengers.
that was breaking news today.
Huge, but
Today.
there's so much weird, like, everybody's got their little Twitter, their theories on Twitter of why this
Mm-hmm.
happened. But yeah, she's departing Marvel Studios for
Wow.
nearly 2 run, man. So
Wow. That's wild.
there's still no reasons. This is according to Deadline. There's no reasons given for her departure. It was effective on Friday, and it's yet to be clear where she's heading. Her exit is quite a shocker, given her, uh, you know, passion for all things Marvel, man. I Instagram, so it's pretty wild to see that happen.
Wow. That's
But it
wild, man.
means, but I'm curious to know if like there's some real chaos going on at Marvel,
Yeah.
and is this, are they, they losing it? They losing the juice?
I don't know, man. And that's another out for another discussion. I think uh, people are starting to write the obituary for the comic book movie after this Shazam stuff, man. What do you think? Are we getting tired of the comic book movies? Huh?
Here's the thing, and I think the one thing that DC is doing is their shit out.
Yeah.
Like I'm really anticipating the Flash movie, and as a fan of the comics, as a fan of the movies, as a person who wants to see comic book movies, come to the
Mm.
comics come to the big screen,
Right.
I'm gonna support a movie like Shazam. And I think what DC did that was cool was, they really spaced everything out. Like there's such a big window between Shazam and the Flash movie,
Mm-hmm.
and the Aquaman movie, and it's like it gives you time to anticipate it, time to wait, and that's something that Marvel really isn't doing well, and they're giving us way too much. And a lot of the stuff that was going on with the Victoria Alonso stuff is, people were saying that, you know, the reason why Ant-Man wasn't that great, like, and visuals weren't on point, was she had a lot to do with it, and how she was putting too much work on people, and certain guys weren't getting paid enough to do
Wow.
these big jobs and do
Mm-hmm.
multiple movies, and they would put movies like Ant-Man on hold to finish Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and it was like, it was just a lot of overworked and underpaid type of
Right.
shit going on.
Yeah, that's
Rumors,
crazy.
through the grapevine, and people just spilling shit.
Maybe that's why she
Um,
resigned. I don't know.
who knows about it? But, like, Marvel's really, and that's why they're cutting back. You notice that they're pushing a lot of shit
Mm-hmm.
back,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not really giving too much details on when shit is coming out because, bro, sometimes it just be too much.
Yep.
and it doesn't give room for people to anticipate, and it kind of waters everything down.
Yeah.
Shows like She-Hulk kind of watered
Mm-hmm.
shit down.
Mm-hmm. And
That's
She-Hulk
just one
was
for
actually
example.
I enjoyed She-Hulk until the last episode. I was just like, why did we end this like this? Like
I
that
did
whole,
not like
if they wanted to
She-Hulk.
break that wall, like they could have ended that episode so much better, a whole million different ways, than the way that they did. It's just like it didn't even make any sense,
Yeah,
you know.
dog, they took characters like the Hulk, watered that down.
I didn't
But it's
even
just,
mind. Yeah, I don't understand.
I think what was cool was like a show like Moon Knight.
Yeah,
It kind
Moon Knight had
it's
more consistency than She-Hulk.
yeah, it was connected, but it also like lived on its own, and that's you feel like you got to add all the other characters to these movies in order for it to pop. When really you just got to tell a really good story, like a Moon Knight, get a great actor in for Isaac, and just tell a story, man. It could be
Yep.
connected, but you don't got you can make your little Easter egg hints and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let it live on its own. And
Yeah.
that's another thing of what like you know if you look, if I looked at the all in all for Shazam, it's like, and even some of the DC movies is they connect to certain things, but they also like it exists in its own way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It exists on its own. It
Mm-hmm.
can be its own thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's self-contained,
Exactly.
and that's what the problem with a lot of the Marvel stuff to me is like it's not. They're not really being something. They're trying to like
It's a
they're
different
trying to tease
tactic.
the
It's a different
yeah
different
it,
approach. They have a different
yeah.
approach. Yeah.
It's just like they know we as fans enjoy the post-credit stuff. We like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the dialogue that hints
Mm-hmm.
at shit in the future or connective
Mm-hmm.
tissue to something else that happened in previous movies and shows, and they're like, oh, let's give them more of that. Let's
Yeah.
keep them going like that. And it's like it's cool for a while, but it's just like like you know let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We got some more genre stuff coming. Um, this spring and summer. So excited for all that stuff. See what happens.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us today here at the show. Joey, let them know that everyone listens to the audio podcast of this, how they can follow you, sir.
You can follow me on my personal page at Joey Franchise, and you can also tap in with my anything Marvel, DC updates, you name it, anything pop culture wise, franchise at Franchise on Film.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me at DJ Speedy JR, all the socials. You're watching this on the Speedy's Multiverse YouTube channel. I will try and get another show with Mikey Sutton, hopefully this week or the next. So we'll get some more scoops and more insights, and we'll get how Mikey Sutton feels about some of the stuff that's been going on this week. What else I got going on? I think that's it for everyone. Everyone, you guys have a good night. Make sure you follow the podcast, Geek Culture Congress podcasts. Look us up on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to us. Hey, you guys have a good night. Okay, thank you so much for listening to us. Have a good one. Peace. Go watch Shazam.
Shazam!
They need your money.